Hi, my name's Ben Thacker. This is a story about my son, but it's not really that. My son has cancer, and the story is not about my son who has cancer, but it's about a God who is supremely faithful to us. David was born in Memphis, Tennessee. He was born there while we were in seminary, and we lived in a little 2-room apartment. We moved from Memphis back to Fayetteville 5 years later, and I started teaching here. David interacted with our 3 other kids much like any older brother. He kind of ran the show and kind of made sure everything was going the right direction most of the time.
His blood sugar would go low, and it's the only time David was ever snippy or unkind was when that blood sugar was so low, and they would just say, "Oh, David, you need to check your blood sugar," and they just learned to take care of him and protect him, and that taught him how to love each other all the way around.
If you know David, he's got this wit that just bam, and it's always right on the money. And I can never keep up. I try my best.
He wins every time with his witty
time, man.
one-liners.
Oh, man.
I don't know how he does it, but he does it.
He gets you.
Don't tell him that too often.
One of the treasures in the midst of that suffering is that God taught our children how to really love each other.
The effects that I saw of Crohn's on David was mostly physical, at least what I saw. He was a lot more fatigued, wasn't able to go as long in any activity that he chose to be involved in, and he wasn't able to be as social as he had been. He had just been all over the place beforehand, but it forced him into a more less social lifestyle, I would say, less physical lifestyle. It also, in my mind, affected him a little bit confidence-wise, self-confidence-wise, because he didn't feel as comfortable as he had in the past to push himself or to know that he had enough energy to go through a whole long period of time socially or athletically or anything else. We were about to be discharged from the hospital after David had a blockage and had some surgery as a result of that. And so we were just gonna go get him and bring him home. And the doctor said that they wanted to meet with one of us before they would dismiss him or discharge him. So I go up to do that. And so the doctor comes in and I expected this to be hope you're going to do well. You go home and here's some things I want you to do when you get home. And it wasn't that at all. It was a sit down on the end of the bed, you've got cancer moment. And none of us were prepared for that. And yet God was even in that room, even then, to give us the strength to own it and to look through it and to look past it and to determine that this was just going to be a longer fight than we had anticipated, that the fight wasn't over and that we were going to just keep on fighting. After we received the notice that David had cancer, we knew that there was going to be some chemotherapy involved. And so after the chemo treatments, they did a PET scan, and man, we were excited because we were excited about the news, and the news was good.
Routinely, after you have chemo, and as you go in every 2 weeks for a while and have blood work, and they check, cancer marker to make sure nothing's going on, and so about 10 days after the lab that came back bad. He had the PET scan, and then they gave us the results.
So David and I went to the doctor's office to get the results. And so we sat there for a minute, and so the doctor came in and told us that the cancer was back, that it was, in his opinion, a very aggressive cancer, and that it was going to be a tough fight. So when a doctor's concerned, it really makes your daddy heart and mama heart concerned. And I said, look, David, it doesn't mean the fight's over. It just means we took a 10-round fight and we made it a 15-rounder. And so it's just a little bit longer. But we're still going to fight. That's what we do. We fight. And we trust God. And we work through it.
He said, I'm going to fight this the way that I fought everything else. And that just really spoke to me, because through everything, diabetes, Crohn's, and now colon cancer, it's like it's never stopped for David, but he continues to trust in the Lord.
When he was presented with the opportunity for our family to make a video about what he's going through, he told Kurt that he didn't want the video to be about him, that he just wanted God to get the glory. And so I want to say that for him if he doesn't get to say that, because David is a great kid, has always been a great kid and a great adult, but it's because of God's grace in his life. It's God's grace.
We wouldn't be the family that we are if these things hadn't happened to us. And that's what Cindy was talking about, it being a blessing. It's terribly beautiful. But God takes and makes beauty out of ashes. And so we continue to say we want to give God the glory. Even though our son has cancer, this is not about him. This is not about even our family. It's about holding up the name of Jesus and saying, you are enough. And that he is faithful. He's a faithful God. Regardless of how dark the darkness gets, he is enough. That it's not about our son who has cancer, but about a God who is faithful.